Hi there, it's Kevin with GatheringMagic.com here with the wrap-up video for our Playing on a Budget with the Mono Blue Devotion. Pretty sweet, went 4-0. Pretty, one of the matchups was a little bit close. Some of our opponents did have some terrible draws, I'll admit that. But this is one of the things that a streamlined deck like Mono Blue Devotion does do, is exploits bad draws. Frostwalker is the key enabler to that. A 4-1 on turn 2 is as aggressive as anything in the format. And these unblockable cards that come out on turn 1 are quite decent as well. Now, again, I talked about in the deck tech about ways to actually make this non-budget, and it is something I'm hoping that I can actually work something out with Gathering Magic. And there's been a lot of people emailing me personally about, hey, how can I do a better version of this deck? I'm not on a budget. How can I upgrade? I love the premise of this deck. What can I do to upgrade it? I think there's two routes for this deck especially that we could go. One of them is going to be with just splashing Collected Company. Let's see here. Collected Company, this card right here. What it does is it look at the top 6 cards of your library, put up to 2 creature cards with converted mana cost 3 or less from among them, and onto the battlefield. So it's 2 cards for 1, 4 mana, instant speed. With this deck, that could easily be a Thassa and a Silumgar Sorcerer or a Shorecrasher Elemental. I mean, ideal a Thassa, Shorecrasher Elemental. And it just really gives this deck a lot of resilience, because what's really good about Silumgar Sorcerer is the flash. And Collected Company, instant speed is huge. So, and then the other card that I would definitely put in here is the, let's see if I can figure out what it's called. Bird. It is a bird. Ice Feather. Ice Feather Aven. Ice Feather Aven says, this turn face up, you may return another creature to owner's hand. That's pretty significant in the format, and another 2/2 flyer that can come out on turn 2. I also thought with Collective Company that Prophet of Kruphix doesn't seem too bad, because it gives all your creatures flash, and then you untap all your lands, and then that way you could play something on your turn and then flash something in, but that just might be overkill. If Master Biomancer was still in the format, I'd definitely suggest going to that. One other way you could upgrade this deck is definitely going into the green, or excuse me, red, and red has access to the Keranos, which is one of the best splashable cards right now for Mono Blue, because it gives it kind of the reach that it wants. And really good news about this is you have Mana Confluence and Sheevan Reef, and both of those make it very easy for Keranos to come out with very little downside, because you're the aggro deck usually, so life isn't the biggest problem in this deck. You're going to be ahead in life most of the time, and Keranos is just an incredibly powerful card. Devotion actually isn't too hard to get, even with a Shorecrasher Elemental. So that's just a few suggestions. I don't know, you get Mind Swipe out of blue and red. I don't think you would go too heavily into red. One of the other cards maybe that I could see splashing into is Crater's Claw. Crater's Claw with a Shorecrasher Elemental, you can get it online, or a Thassa. And it deals X damage to our creature player. Crater's Claw deals X +2. So maybe for the video series, we'll go over all these options. I'll make a red-blue deck. I'll make a green-blue deck, and actually do both the green-blue morph deck and the green-blue, a green-blue Megamorph, and then the green-blue just subtly splash in Devotion. Because the other way that I definitely think that this deck would have a different feel to it, or different flavor if you weren't on a budget, would be to go into the Death Mist Raptor, because there is so much morph cards in this. You have the Lurker, you have the Stratus Dancer, and the Shorecrash Elemental, as well as Cloud Form is another way to morph. And then Death Mist Raptor just keeps coming back. I don't know if you'd quite go the Master Ways. I'd probably still run a number of them, maybe 1 or 2, because it's still very good with Shorecrash Elemental. But Death Mist Raptor, of course, does not help the Devotion. And then the Ice Feather Aven is another thing that can be morphed over. And then one of the best cards is the Den Protector, which is a 2/1, and then you Megamorph it, and then you get to return a card from your graveyard to your hand. And so it's got very good synergy with the Death Mist Raptor. In fact, there's so many decks that are running that combination. I think we got blown out by it last Playing on a Budget when we were playing the mono white, and just the power of the Den Protector and the Death Mist Raptor. And again, Ice Feather Aven, there's also another Megamorph card that when you turn it face up, it destroys an artifact or enchantment that would go great in this deck. And I'm sure, I thought about Sagu Mauler, as another option for a morph. Morph gets back a Death Mist Raptor. You still have a trample hexproof. And then, of course, you can always go into Naya, or excuse me, Bant Colors, and then go Mastery of the Unseen, which is whenever permanent controls turn face up, you gain a life for each creature to control, and then you can manifest the top of your library. But then again, that would be a lot different feel. So I think the options I'm going to go next one is I might splash we'll try the Megamorph version, and we'll also try splashing red for Crater's Claw. Maybe we'll look at some other stuff, because even Mindswipe doesn't look too bad in this deck. You can do some really crazy stuff with Nykthos Shredded Nyx. Mindswipe, counter target spell unless they pay X, and it deals X damage to that spell's controller. So just subtly splashing gives you another hard counter spell that you can use against them. And I'm trying to think if there was any other blue-red cards out of Khans of Tarkir or the Fate Reforged, but I'm not. One's not coming to mind. I think it was like Khans. There was only a few of them. I'm trying to think the other one was like an uncommon that you drew a card and then dealt damage equal to that card's converted mana cost or something like that. But so nothing else out of the blue and red. So Crater's Claw would be a great one though. I think Crater's Claw gives this some more added reach. You get in there with early Frostwalkers, Hypnotic Silence, Lurkers, and then the Nykthos Shredded Nyx. Adding that Devotion could actually be quite potent. But the problem I am having with Nykthos Shredded, or with this with Crater's Claw, is the only things that really works off is a pumped up Silumgar Sorcerer or a Thassa. Nothing else has. I guess Frostwalker. So yeah, so I guess it's not too bad. Frostwalker also is ferocious and can work with Crater's Claw. So that would be the little splashes here and there for Keranos and Crater's Claw. I'm not too sure if there'd be really anything else I'd really want to splash in. You get like Circle of Flame, a few other cards here and there. Was there any blue? I'm trying to think if there's any blue-red stuff out of the Theros block. I think we've went over it before, and I didn't like the cards I was splashing for in blue-red before Khans of Tarkir came out was really Izzet Staticaster, which of course would be a great card in today's format with all the tokens. But there wasn't an Izzet Charm. But other than that, I don't think Theros gave too much as the form is blue and red cards. So anyway, if that's something you're interested in, definitely come check the Gathering Magic out for when that will release. I'll try to do it in between playing on a budget, so I'm going to be a busy person. And then if you like this type of feel, this is what I'm going to be doing on my Twitch channel. It's if you just search for Rogue Deck Builder on Twitch, I'm going to be doing live brew sessions. So if you want to be part of the community, just join Twitch on Tuesday at 5 p.m. Central Time, or excuse me, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And we're going to pick a card and then brew around it as a kind of a community and throw ideas back and forth about what we put in the deck and then play a few rounds of that deck. So that's going to happen on Tuesdays. And again, we'll throw in this non-budget version of these decks sometime in between the playing on budgets the following week. So be looking forward to that. Your comments are always appreciated. I'm really thankful for all the support. My channel has been growing very, very quickly, and I know a lot of my fans come from the Playing on a Budget and Gathering Magic brand. So big shout out, big thank you to all the fans here that continue to keep this Playing on a Budget series alive. This has been Kevin with GatheringMagic.com and YouTube/Rogue Deck Builder. Thanks for watching.